post-meditation download that I just want to share. And I'm always just talking about transformation. I'm always talking about change. I'm always talking about how to cure depression and addiction and anxiety and supersede the pain body. How to actually transmute the pain body and the limited chemistry into gold, and how we can move from being powerless to a creator of the life that we want to live. And the hard reality is many people possibly don't want to accept or understand, myself in the past included, that it takes a huge amount of effort. If you have a dream, you have a passion, you have something you want to share or experience or create, then you have a responsibility to it. And if you don't sacrifice for that dream, then your dream becomes the sacrifice. And that regret is something that I'm not willing to live with, because this life is a gift. The world doesn't owe me a thing, doesn't owe you a thing. It is a gift that we've been given to be here and drawing this breath. So when there is enough effort and intention and energy inside us, when that spark of life for something greater, when that's stronger than our need for comfort. And what I mean by comfort is the known life. It's the comfort position with the known life that you currently have, where you can control all the outcomes and you can predict how you're going to feel, and the people you surround yourself with, they validate where you're at right now. When that drive is greater than that need for comfort, then you will stay the course and you can manifest everything that you've ever desired. But you see, the universe responds to who you're being, and it only meets you halfway. A lot of people get this wrong. They think that it's like, oh, well, Damien says go and sit under a tree and go home, and all these gold bars will fall out of the sky and then I'll be a famous actor. That's not what I'm saying at all. Your intention must equal its intention. The higher consciousness I'm talking about. Your love for life has to equal how much it loves you. And your willpower has to be equal to its will. It means you've got to be a giant. You've got to show up and be a giant, because obviously it has unlimited will. It has unlimited love. But there is no one incapable of transformation, and there's no one incapable of living a better life and manifesting their dreams. This intelligence is non-judgmental, completely non-judgmental. The times when I've connected with it, that my expectation was, I'm going to be in trouble now. If this is a punishing God, a punishing universe, a punishing higher consciousness, Damo's screwed. Like, I've done it all. I've been there. I bought the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? No, it was just love. It was just love. Inside my coma, it was just infinite, non-judgmental love. So whatever you put in, you will get out. There are no quick fix methods to living the life you want. People who are trying to tell you that are trying to sell you something. And I would put it to you that they haven't done it. They're not living proof of what's possible. I will only teach what I've done, and I'll only teach what works. I came from, severe depression, suicidal, drug addict, addicted to ice, critical head injuries, over a week in a coma. And even in that space, I've now created the space I'm in now. So that means everyone can do what I've done. It takes effort, but that's okay, because we have all the energy that we need inside ourselves. We just got to get it hooked up with a greater sense of obligation, with an actual responsibility to life. The number of days you've been here is getting longer every breath. And the amount of time you got left is getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. What are you willing to take with you to the grave and know that you didn't accomplish, and know that you didn't share with the world? All you have to do is step into your power and stay the course. Stay the course. Because what normally happens is we face some adversity and we duck out the back door. We duck and run. But if you can change your mindset, your framework, okay, on these moments of hardship, you understand that adversity breeds opportunity. Within the moment, is it easy? Is it comfortable? No. But that's the whole point. You have to be comfortable feeling uncomfortable. You have to get okay with feeling uncomfortable for a period of time. And it is only for a period of time, while the old you literally dies. I'm talking like it's the genetic and neurological death of the old you, as old neurological networks, old neurons no longer fire and wire together, and new pathways in the brain that are driving new thoughts, positive life-affirming thoughts of possibility and connection and creativity and compassion and genius. They start to become the dominant networks in the brain. It takes time. It's a linear thing. Very, very, very rarely, extraordinarily rarely, some people have these moments where it's, very fast, a very fast transformation. Eckhart Tolle comes to mind. But that's the exception, not the rule. For me, man, I've just been grinding. I've just been grinding away, and no one's telling me how to think. No one's going to tell me how to live. No one's going to tell me what God to believe in, or what, religious structure, or any of that stuff. I'm going myself. I'm going to find out. My connection with spirit, my connection with the higher self is the teaching I've grabbed from that is because of experience. This is where I've been. It's where I've gone so many times, and I refuse to let someone else, tell me what it is. What I know is this. What I know is this. When we place all of our attention on this material world, we're bound by it. It's as simple as that. There's no higher consciousness beyond, and we're more bound by fear, of course, because it means everything is mechanical, and this body exposed to entropy is just breaking down, and then that's it. I am physical. But then there's very little purpose. If you have no purpose, you've got no meaning. You've got no meaning, you're going to fall into hopelessness. And the more whole we are, the less we need anything outside of ourselves. And the less whole, the more, especially in that place, if there's no meaning, to life, we're always going to look for comfort, things, objects, substances, food, addictions, everything outside of us to try and fill what's missing inside of us. So my advice for you is to find your own way, to think for yourself rather than grab a pre-packaged way of thinking and behaving and feeling off the shelf that someone else is just spoon feeding to you. Just to figure it out for yourself, empower yourself. That's the key here. And like I said at the start of this video, whatever you put in, you'll get back. It does come back, but you can't get ahead of the script and try and dictate when. It's none of your business. The universe is going to keep pushing us all around to see what we're actually made of, to find out how much fiber we've got. So you are the architect of that life you want to live, okay? You're designing it, you're constructing it, you're dropping those pebbles into the pond every single day by showing up and showing up and showing up. But then you've got to get out of the way, and this is where surrender comes into it. And I'm going to make a different video about surrender because it's a whole other topic. But yeah, just remember this. This life is a gift. This is a canvas waiting. It's blank. You've got every paintbrush and every color that's ever been conceived right in front of you, and you're designing it. You get to design it. Now I understand that now places all this responsibility on you. It's like straight away that's what it does. Oh, hang on, that means I've got to take ownership. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. We all do. If you want something greater, if you want to create the life that you dream of, you'll need to grab ownership. Otherwise, who you could have been will always haunt you. And you don't want that. You've just got to get started. You just got to take that first step. And it can be a baby step. I had to start with baby steps. So just ask yourself in the morning, where do I want to be? Where is that place up on the horizon? How does it look? How does it feel? And then look at what is the gap between where I am now. And don't go, oh, it's insurmountable. It's, oh, this, that. No, like you just have to be present. You just got to be in the power of now and ask yourself, what steps can I take today? Don't get derailed in all the details and try and buy time by, adding more thought and contemplation. You just want to say, what steps or voluntary actions and steps can I take today to start moving towards that future? Because I'm going to leave you with something that my sister said to me in a letter, a beautiful letter that I've always kept. And she just said, look, Damo, sometimes we've got to fight for it. We've got to fight for what we want. And if it was handed to you on a platter, it would never taste as sweet on the other side. And that's true. That's true because you wouldn't value it. You've got to understand. The brain's always looking for value. If you just click your fingers, then it's all there. All the wealth, all the success, all the, initiatives to save the world and help Mother Nature and design this and blah, 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 that. If that was all just handed to you, I promise you, you wouldn't value it the same and you'd probably implode. You would probably subconsciously start destroying what's been given to you anyway, because it's not your baby, it's not your child. You don't have that love for your own creation. Okay, so as you start to get feedback from the universe, it's more fuel from the fire. Like, this is my baby. I did that. I created this. And then there's more energy the next morning to do the same thing. And you'll keep showing up. And you'll keep showing up. You've just got to stay the course. And you stay the course by coming back to a greater sense of purpose and responsibility to this life, which is why my logo has always been live your purpose. Because when you have purpose, you have meaning. When you've got that meaning, you've got that reason every single day. When you've got that reason, you keep showing up. So you can do it. You can do it. And the hardest bit is just getting started. It's just like going back to the gym. Obviously with the gym, it's just the first week or two. This is a little bit more than that. It's different for everyone, but realistically, it's going to be a few months where you've got to start firing and wiring new neuronal networks together, and then laying down myelin over those networks so they're well insulated. And then the world is just waiting for you. The world's just waiting for you because you're thinking in different ways. The limited beliefs are just really quiet. That self-limiting factor is just really quiet. It's just like the hum of a refrigerator in the background somewhere. Okay. I don't know if they ever die completely. I still have to coach myself, probably at least once a week. But I'm very, very fast to get out of it and just come back to love. So you can do anything that you set your heart and mind to. When your head, hand, and heart align as one, you say, mountain, move. And that mountain will move. It just doesn't seem like that if you're currently in a bad place or if you're currently in the pain. And I know that it's hard when someone shows up in your life that's appears to have abundance, or that is out of that depression. Is hard. That mirror is not comfortable. But again, remember, we're moving into friction. You've got to be okay feeling uncomfortable, because that's the road out. There's no quick fix method to transformation and change and feeling enlightened, like enlightenment and love and bliss and creation and all of that. There's no quick fix unless you're Eckhart Tolle, like I said. But man, you don't want to be given up on that. When you don't want to be given up on that. That a story I've told many times about the old Italian property developer who had wealth that couldn't even fathom, like multiple Ferraris in the basement, 4-story house, elevator on the beachfront, marble, leather, everything. And he grabs me. It's just literally a week or two before my car accident. I was doing some work at his house. He grabs me and he says, have you got anything in the air? Yeah, in there. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, in here, passion, dream. I said, yeah, I got my music, man. I got my guitar. I mean, little did I know I was just about to have a near-death experience and end up with, over 44 pieces of titanium drilled into my face after my face is surgically peeled off, breaking my back in 6 places and drowning in my own blood and spending a week in a coma. Critical head injuries. And he looked at me and he said, you follow that dream, because at my age, the things that you can't live with, the hardest pill to swallow, are those dreams that you gave up on. And he turned around and he put his hand out like this. He was like that, because the view was floor to ceiling glass out over the ocean, and it was a perfect day. And he said, even with all this, I have all this, but I still regret. I didn't follow my dreams. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. Look, if you guys can hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share the video with anyone who you think might benefit from it. And as always, I'll never stop leading with love. So from my heart to yours, wherever you are in the world, sending light and love to you and your family. Peace.